Alright, let's continue. Alright. The source doesn't link to an actual file, so you should see the alt text in display. Image tag should have an alt attribute, and it should not be empty. Camper, cat. Know when alt text should be left blank. In the last challenge, you learned that including an alt attribute on image tags is mandatory. However, sometimes images are grouped with a caption already describing them, or are used for decoration only. In these cases, alt text may seem redundant or unnecessary. In situations when an image is already explained with content or does not add meaning to a page, the image still needs an alt attribute, but it can be set to an empty string. Here's an example. Background images usually fall under the decorative label as well. However, they are typically applied with CSS rules and therefore not part of the markup screen reader's process. Note: for images with a caption, you may still want to include an alt text since it helps search engines catalog the content of the image. Camper Cat has coded a skeleton page for the blog part of his website. He's planning to add a visual break between his two articles with a decorative image of a samurai sword. Add an alt attribute to the image tag and set it to an empty string. Note that the image source doesn't link to an actual file. Don't worry that there are no swords showing in the display. Your image tag should have an alt attribute. Oh, whoops. Alright, use headings to show hierarchical relationships of content. Headings H1 through H6 elements are workhorse tags that help provide structure and labeling to your content. Screen readers can be set to read only the headings on a page so the user gets a summary. This means it is important for the heading tags in your markup to have semantic meaning and relate to each other, not be picked merely for their size values. Semantic meaning means that the tag you use around content indicates the type of information it contains. Okay. If you were writing a paper with an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, it would make much sense to put the conclusion as a subsection of the body in your outline. It should be its own section. Similarly, The heading tags in a web page need to go in order and indicate the hierarchical relationships of your content. I hope I'm saying that word right. Headings with equal or higher ranks start new implied sections. Headings with lower ranks start subsections of the previous one. As an example, a page with an H2 element followed by several subsections labeled with H4 tags would confuse the screen reader user. With 6 choices, it's tempting to use a tag because it looks better in the browser, but you can use CSS to edit the relative sizing. One final point, each page should always have one and only one H1 element, which is the main subject of your content. This and the other headings are used in part by search engines to understand the topic of the page. Camper Cat wants a page on the site dedicated to becoming a ninja. Help him fix the headings so his markup gives semantic meaning to the content and shows proper parent-child relationships of his sections. Change all the H5 tags to the proper heading level to indicate their subsections of the H2 ones. Your code should have 6 H3 tags. Your code should not have any 5. Oop. Two, 4, 6. All right, this girl needs to make a quick break. I will be